Alright, so this is my first take at making a little YouTube instructional video, but I thought, what the hell, why not? You know, maybe give some people some ideas. So this is a 55-gallon tote that I got from Home Depot. What I'm using this tote for is a Spengleri enclosure. I'm going to get the Spengleri later this week, but the goal is to get this set up for it's like an actual environment. You know, like it's got the dirt, the peat moss. You know, I'm gonna throw some worms in there, just kind of like its own habitat environment. Like, yeah, you know, I'm sure you've all seen those type of setups, and that's the goal here. So just gonna show you what all I do, and maybe it'll give you guys some ideas. So start with obviously the 55-gallon tote. You can acquire this at Home Depot. Yeah. So I've also got these 4x4s that I'm gonna set the tote on. These are gonna be used to keep the tote off the ground for everything can drain out. So that's what those are for. I'll show you how it's set up once we're done. All right, and to create the environment, I've got a bag of topsoil, some cypress mulch to help with the humidity. We've also got the pea pebble, which is gonna be the base, the bottom, where everything can fall through, and it'll be down there it'll catch everything. The water can trickle through. We've also got the peat moss. It's going to be used in there to help with the pH level of everything. It's turned upside down because the bag is tore at the top and I don't want it spilling everywhere. So yeah, first things first is I have flipped over the 55-gallon tote because I am going to drill holes in the bottom of it for all the excess water and waste can filter out. As you noticed, it's a concrete floor, so I'm not worried about damaging anything. So I'm not going to record myself drilling holes in the bottom of that. So I'm going to do that off camera, but I will chime back in once I get this completed. Alright, so we drilled all the holes in the bottom of the tub for the excess water and whatever can, you know, filter out. I did kind of like this 1 2 1 2 1 2 blah 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 on the middle ones, because over here I only did like the 1 2 on the sides because those 4x4s are gonna be sitting on the edges for it'll be off the ground for everything can flow out. I'm not sure on the exact drill bit size, but it's a fine one. It's not very thick, as you can see by the holes, because you don't want all your substrate falling out. So yeah, now time to set the tub up on the 4x4s and dump in the substrate. All right, the tub is now set up on the 4x4s, and as you can see how it's off the ground for drainage. That's why the 4x4s are under there, for the excess water can drain out. First up is the pea pebbles. We're gonna put a layer down on the bottom for not a lot of that loose stuff like the topsoil and peat moss falls out through the cracks. So that's why we'll put in the pea pebbles. Alright, so since I'm doing this video by myself, I'm finding it hard or difficult to open the bags and spread them out while holding the phone. So I'm gonna put down the peat pebble layer and then I will check back in. So give me one moment. All right, so the peat pebble is in. It's about an inch layer of it laid down. Not much more. It's all smoothed out. So next we're gonna put in some peat moss and some topsoil and some more peat moss, and we're gonna mix it all together for its, you know, yeah, all mixed up. First up, the peat moss. We're just gonna got it sitting here if I don't get it all over. Just gonna grab handfuls of it. Probably get another nice like 1-inch layer. Then lay in the topsoil. So, yeah. We'll be back as soon as I get that layer laid down. Alright, so now we have the layer of peat moss laid down. Next up is the soil. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and dump this whole bag of topsoil in this enclosure. I'm going to pour some more peat moss in there. I'm going to mix it all together. So I got all the topsoil in there. Another 1/2 inch of peat moss. Now, I forgot to say I'm going to plant this pothos right tab in the middle. Hoping it gets real nice and viney, for it gives the Spengler eyes some area to hide in. So I'm going to plant that real quick and I'll show you the results. Alright, so I got the pothos planted now. And I am going to incorporate these little hides for the Spengler I can crawl under and hide. I'm going to put them on one end, one on one end, one on the other. Go ahead and grab one of those. Put that right there. And hopefully those pothos vines grow up all over that so you barely even see it. Those guys will love that. I'm gonna put one over here. So yeah. Now I'm gonna put down a little mulch just to add some extra substrate to help keep the humidity levels high in there. So, and voila, there you go. There's a Geoemyda Spengleri enclosure. I plan to add some sphagnum moss. I didn't have that for this video, so next time I post the video, there will be a lot of sphagnum moss incorporated in this enclosure. I'm also going to throw in a bunch of worms, pill bugs, isopods, whatever you want to call them, to help maintain the environment. Also, the Spengler eyes don't really like it much above 80 degrees, so I'm going to need to monitor that. Make sure it doesn't go lower than 50, higher than 80. Because I'm sure, as you saw in the background, I've got a lot of other enclosures in here. So it is pretty warm down here. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's my first video. Hopefully, I'll post the follow-up. Hopefully the follow-up will be better. But yeah, thanks for watching, and check out Black Lagoon Reptiles Facebook page.